So I've grown up with a man that's led this life, and it's all I know. Of course, most kids, they want to see the lights and sirens, and everybody kind of likes the adrenaline junkie part of it. But for the most part, I grew up watching a man just all hours of the night and day just go out and help people. That's kind of what I felt like I needed to do.
Well, I enlisted back in 2003 at the onset of the Iraq War, just kind of feeling like the world was changing around me, and I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to contribute, and I thought, how can I best do that? And I thought, and if I could take my skills, take the things that I'm already good at, and then become a Marine on top of that, then that would serve me well. And so that's what I did. I became a journalist for the Marine Corps as a combat correspondent. Went to the front lines to tell the story.
My husband's been a sheriff's deputy for 15 years. He switched to Pritchard Police Department, and on his third day on the job, a suspect decided to run from another officer, and they went to assist, and their patrol car was hit head-on at 85 miles an hour by the suspect. Both he and his partner suffered the same injuries, and their hip bones just blew back through their pelvis and split it.
The Twin Towers were hit a couple years before I joined, and I kind of wanted to get out there and serve my country. Nobody else other than my great-grandfather was in the military. It was something that I wanted to do. I wanted to go a lot further than what I ended up, getting.
There's so much more than the lights and sirens. It was making somebody's worst day seem not so bad. Whether it's just helping some old lady up out of the floor, old man up out of the floor, to somebody actually truly having some serious emergency. Your job was to be there, and no matter if it was 2 p.m. or 2 a.m., to be the smiling face or the comforting arms or hands that was there for them.
My job in the Marine Corps as a combat correspondent, as a journalist, was to tell the Marine Corps story. I traveled all around the area of operation and covered stories of Marines either coming into the country or leaving the country, or Marines getting ready to deploy. All those stories that kind of get pushed to the side in the evening news. I mean, I was there to tell the story of Marines being Marines, and we like to leave a place better than we found it.
I was stationed in Fort Stewart, Georgia, and I started off as a 14 Sierra, which is an Avenger crew member. And within 2 weeks of being there, I got switched to a 19 Delta, which is a Cav Scout. I went over an advanced party, so I left 2 weeks earlier than everyone else. I was stationed in Balad, Iraq, which is about 20 clicks north of Baghdad. I was there for a full year to gather information on high-value targets.
I was a young kid, just had a set of twins, and we just got them home from the hospital. And a tornado had struck a little community south of us, a town called Cincinnati. And I went down on the initial call. I was actually supposed to be on shift, but I was home with my twins. Rolled into the town ahead of the fire truck, and as we rolled in, it was just, for a town that size, it's a small community. There's a lot of destruction. The fire trucks get there, recoveries and stuff happen. And the next couple of days, I just go back and I start kind of helping the community. I thought, man, I know these people, I'm going to help. And I'm standing there one day oiling up a chainsaw with a buddy of mine from a different department. And here comes this white truck pulling in, and it said Sheepdog Impact Assistance. And there's two guys sitting in it, and they got a trailer, and they got all this stuff on the side of it. And out pops these two guys, and man, they're kind of looking around, and they look like they want to go to work.
I never thought I'd spend as much of my life explaining to people the difference between an accident and an incident. Got up in the vehicle, I got up in the truck, and I had my camera, and so I was filming and posting security with some other Marines, and we just rolled right over an IED. Never saw it coming. It was just, boom. I got thrown back inside the vehicle, and the fire and debris started coming down on top of me. And right away, I knew what had happened. I thought, We just lost Marines.
My friend had passed away the day before. An IED went off, flipped the truck upside down, landed on his neck. He was the gunner. And so the next day we were taking our captain back to Camp Anaconda to debriefing. And on our way back, we passed the hole that he was hit in. And as we approached it, we realized it was filled in with dirt. But it came up so fast, flatlined 3 times, and woke up at Walter Reed.
The doctor walked out to us and he said, well, he has broken acetabulum and a mass on his kidney. And my brain just sort of shut down at mass on kidney. I think that's what depressed him the most in the hospital, was laying there and not being able to do anything. And so for me and our daughter, I mean, we basically had to walk on eggshells because he was sitting there noticing everything.
I kind of made my presence known to these 2 guys. And people now know them as Lance Nutt and Drew Gilchrist. We teamed up, we ran all day, we ran chainsaws for whoever needed it. We worked, we pulled limbs, we fixed fence, we picked up trash, we did everything. I met a guy that was so passionate about helping others, I thought, man, it's like talking to myself in the mirror. You know, helping others is a way of life. And I was like, golly, that's what I want to be. I've been a part of it since that very day.
I looked for somebody or some organization or something that could help me with him, because I can only do what I know how to do as a wife. I'm not a law enforcement officer, even though I've been around it. So I didn't know how to help him get through this. And I came across Sheepdog and sent Lance an email. And within a day or so, he had called me back on the phone. And when he got off the phone with Lance, it was almost like he had a new best friend, which is odd because, you know, they talk to a lot of people and people don't come across like that. And I guess he just felt the genuineness that is Lance Nutt. And then the New York trip came up and we decided that he could do that. And so Lance set us up for us to go to New York with everyone. And without having the camaraderie that he has with the guys here, I just don't think he would have made it. I know that we wouldn't have made it. Sheepdog, for sure, without a doubt, saved him and our marriage.
And he challenged me. He said, if you go skydiving, I promise you, Sheepdog will find a way to get you up there and jump out of a plane. And the biggest part was being around other veterans. It had been 8 years since that feeling of, I walk up to somebody and without a word said, I know that he's got my back and I have his, and I would die for him and he'd die for me. I always say that it was the second time that my life was saved. The first time was when, you know, I was injured, and the second time I feel was when, you know, Sheepdog found me.
We are sheepdogs, regardless if you were in the military or in the civil services, where you were, what you did. We go and we do and we accomplish, and that's who we are. So it speaks to me as a Marine, as a father, as an American, that this is who we are. So being able to recognize or relate to a group like this reminds me of who I am, of what I'm capable of, and what I have yet to do.
Not just for veterans, but first responders, law enforcement, firefighters, and EMS. The outdoor adventures isn't the only thing that we do, you know. Being able to adopt children and being able to give them a smile on their face and having presents under the tree when they wake up.
I found brothers that I didn't know I had in these guys, and sisters, and I've seen guys, you know, when you sit back and you think, man, my back hurts one day, and you go out to these warrior dashes and these Spartan races and you see these guys that are, you know, missing an arm or missing a leg, and you're right there with them, and your back don't hurt so bad anymore. These guys gave everything they had. You know, fellow firemen gave everything like I did. And man, to be a part of that, to give back, to take my role and say, man, I can help. I can, you know, give something back to these guys who gave a lot. It has been one of the most amazing things I've ever been a part of. I'm probably, short of being a fireman, firefighter, paramedic, you know, I've probably never been more proud to be a part of something.
Seeing what Sheepdog has done for me, giving me the opportunity to go to Yosemite with my son and bond and have that moment that's outside of hospitals, it's outside of the Grand Marine Corps. It was just, you know, father and son, and to have those memories are invaluable. So I cherish that. I cherish what Sheepdog's done for me.
You can't keep track of the amount of people that they've helped out and not asked for a thank you, not jumped up and down and said, hey, look at us, this is who we are. They just go and they do.
They do exactly what they say they're going to do. I've worked and volunteered for other charities in the past throughout my life, and you don't see somebody put so much effort into the people. This organization exists to help people, and that's exactly what they do. And you can feel it, you can tell that they just want to help everyone.
So, why Sheepdog? Why not?